Hey, hello everyone. This is Sriram from ShriLearning. So we're going to talk about a success story. It's a while we didn't give a success story. Now Vinithra opening the account for the year 2023. So we have Vinithra here. She successfully cleared PMI-ACP on December 21st. She completed her vacation, freshen up. At the same time, she remembered whatever she did for the exam. So first, congratulations, Vinithra, for this great achievement.
Thank you so much, Sriram. Like I always say, you hold a major chunk of credit in this. Thank you for all the support and motivation.
Good. I know you gave a positive word, but we know that even though we do training, somebody has to sit and train 4 hours. Somebody has to be in control the last 1 week of preparation. No mobile, no television, no distraction. Sacrificing all makes it happen. So quickly, we'll see the certificate. Okay, this is a certificate she posted on LinkedIn. This is on December 21st. So last year was very beautifully here for Vinithra, specifically on the PMI side. The reason is one, she did PMP in the month of May. Am I right? May, I believe. Yeah, May you
Yes.
did. Again, December she did PMI ACP. So within the gap of 6 months, she was able to achieve two certificates, which is really good because there are people waiting to get one from PMI Institute when she got two. On top of that, she's not from IT industry background specifically because some of us think PMI ACP is only for software industry. And she learned a lot of factors about project management, agile management, and made it happen. So the main questions, there are people watching this video, they may be from project management background of traditional way, some may be from adaptive way. We want to listen from you, Vinithra, how this preparation went on, or we can even start with what was a drive for you to get these certificates.
Sure, Sriram. So I think exactly a year back, in January last year, is when I reached out to you, and then I told you that I wanted to do PMP. That's because I have been in a manufacturing background before. I have done fragments of the things that we learn in PMP, but nothing put together. So I wanted something that validates all my experience, and then along with the current industry standards. So that's why I wanted to do PMP. And then a very good friend of mine, Ramya, she was the one who suggested. So and then she's a very close friend of mine. I just trust whatever she says. And then the same day I reached out to you. So that's how my entry to ShriLearning and PMP started. And then for PMP, I think I was in a different kind of mindset. I just followed whatever you said, like be it assignments, be it getting ready through the class, and keeping up with the study pattern and all that. So I think that's a driving force for me. And your PMP classes were outstanding. So I like the layout of every class. It starts with the motivation message followed by the subject and everything. So I think it'll drive everyone who wanted to do something. So, and I think one best thing that I did was I was reading along with the classes.
Mm.
So so my reading started pretty early, like Feb 19, this when my classes started, I started reading from then on. So by the end, when the classes got over, I mean the batch got over, I didn't have so much to study. I did have 3 or 4 chapters I had to study. So major chunk of the thing I
That's
started
nice.
studying right from the beginning. Yeah.
That's
So that also helped me.
mm, that's not easy, when we use the word easy. See, when we did in college and school days, it was fine. When the class is happening, we will able to read because of the time, and also our mindset could be a little free enough by the time. Reading management books is the more driest thing. Many people would have asked you when you posted your success how to read it. There are people asking, "Can you get me some audio book?" So people don't want to read, but they want to get the content inside. It's
True.
so the first question people ask here is which book to read. If I read, how to read. So, you have any specific tips? Do you take notes, or you have any specific tips of this book to read, either for PMP or AC?
So yeah. So with PMP, I started with Rita book and the Agile Practice Guide.
Hmm.
So honestly speaking, I'm not from an Agile background, so it took some time for me to get that digest with the Agile Practice Guide. But I think I would have read it twice or thrice, Agile Practice Guide. But the Rita, this is how I started. I started with the Rita book. I finished it. I did the chapter wise test. And then side by side, I took the ShriLearning 40 marks, 40 questions.
Mm,
Uh, and then 60. I mean, at that period of time, we didn't have 60 questions. So this 40 questions. And, that's how I learned. And
mm,
the way I did was I have the habit of making notes for myself
that's nice.
other than highlighting in the book. I try to make my own notes.
Mm,
I analyze, I go deep into it, and that was my study pattern for
that's a good
PMP.
mention. Yeah, taking notes, looking back. Sometimes you connect back to your job also to see,
Yes,
is this what we do in our job? If not, why we're not doing it? Kind of. Yeah, good.
true. So every time you had, I mean, I had sessions, PMP session or your classes, I was able to relate to what I did before. So
Mm,
connecting to what
mm,
I did. So I think that's you will need to connect yourself with what you're doing. So
mm.
that will make you register more with the concepts.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Makes sense. Okay. A little on connecting with the PMI ACP, since we did certificate recently. Mike, for this one book you would have gone through.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, nice.
So
Since you
I
said
prefer,
manufacturing industry, uh, was it comfortable for you to learn what is Scrum or Kanban, XP, or you felt, man, I'm reading only for exam purpose?
no, I just loved it. So Agile, okay, Agile was my first love in your PMP class. So it's like I'm always curious. So this is something which I didn't know.
Mm,
Initially, I felt it's like a volcano in my head, but then I started liking it. I think I should say only because of that drive,
mm.
I wanted to do PMI-ACP. I just decided I needed to do it 1 week after I finished my PMP. So because the major reason is this, what I like, plus I PMP is all about 50% agile and hybrid, right? So I
Uh,
just felt I knew some basics in that already. So now just going deep into it and doing it. So
that's nice. I think that's a good thing with the PMP recently. Recently, say last 2 years, they've added the agility there. People don't even want to learn, but at least they get the essence of what could be in the agile. That's nice. That's nice. So, other question, Vinithra, people generally ask a very general question. My scores are not going high. Maybe PMP or ACP, anything on the PMI. I'm taking a question in ShriLearning 10 questions paper. I'm getting 50%. 40 questions, I get 40%, 60%. Or I take a full exam, still my scores are not going high. The scores not going high is a general ask. I'm sure you too had sometimes that kind of trouble. And then I saw your scores always in a good range. Um, if you want to give some info to the people who struggle there for scores, who struggle there to improve themselves, what kind of info you want to share?
So there are two things. If your score is too low, uh, you need to read the book back. You need to understand the concepts better. Concept understanding is important. And then if your score, I mean, if you just do that and again get back to your mock or something, you would definitely see a bit improvement in the score. And then, so I would say more and more you do analysis, you go deeper into one particular topic. I understand that the depth and breadth of it. I think you will get the hang of it. So if somebody is getting only 40% or 50%, it means that they need to understand or uh, read the book again. It's, I mean, I just feel it's not about passing or
Yeah,
just clearing the paper. It's much more than, right? So
That's true.
It's like you should do justice to whatever you're doing. So
Well said.
okay, PMP passed, so it's not that. At least it was not that for me. So I
That's true.
feel it's like, because from my own experience, every time I read a book again and again, I always had I always got new things to learn. So
That's
I would have read like twice or thrice. So every time I studied the risk chapter or any chapter, I always, oh wow, this is something new which I didn't think about last time. So there's always a scope for learning more and scope for understanding. So I
good.
would say I would say that that is one thing. So
Okay.
it's
That's
just
such
not about
a
hearing, it is about getting to know more. So
nice,
yeah.
nice. Thanks for that answer. As people want to know how to improve score. One other thing also I found, maybe you can also add to that, the reading ability of the question should also improve. Yeah, they have to go back to the books and read about the subject. Even though they know the subject, sometimes they struggle to get the real what the question is asking for. Um,
True.
can I assume that you have a good book reading habit from school days? You read more books?
Yeah, I do have.
Okay. So some people who have this book reading habit, for them, once they read the line, the brain easily captures this is what they're trying to say. There are some people like me when I started my school and college, being the last bench guy, we don't even read the syllabus book. Then when to read other books in the world? We don't read any book at all. Okay, we ourselves live like a book. So the point is, the people who don't read the book, they struggle hard when they read a question. So I get your answer that you have to go back, read the concepts well, then only this concept you can relate in the question.
Yeah.
If not, you read a question, but your brain don't process it. You have to just read the English words.
True. Yeah, that's right. And also, one thing to what you said, during school and college, we all of us were in a different mindset.
Mm.
We have to do this, we have to do this. So this PMP or this at this age, we are doing it for ourselves, right? So I think the focus would automatically come if you start thinking that why are we doing this? That why
Yeah,
question, that has to be very strong. And if you can understand that, you will start focusing. Yeah.
that's right. Well said. Well said. Because what you rightly said is in school and college is different. There are people, some of them worried my scores are not going high. They even sometimes cry. I get a feel that they are not yet come out of their school and college where only the scores are important. But what is few minutes back, understanding of the subject is important, and also realize why we are doing this. So you start involving more into the content rather only in the numbers. Because
True.
at least country where we come from, India, we are more academic driven by numbers. Out of 100,
Very
how much your son got it, how much you got, your daughter got it. But that's not PMP, right? PMP is you learn what is managerial role here. How do you collaborate with your team member? Did you got the essence of it? Then automatically the scores goes high. You do not need to push it up.
Yeah,
But
so and also that I realized the whole PMP or ACP for that matter, it is just not alone the concept. It
mhm,
is about a bit of common sense concept
mhm,
plus the PMI mindset. It's three things are important. You need to have a bit of common sense because certain options you will have to straightly eliminate. You should have that basic thing to eliminate
that's true.
that, and then
That's true.
it will again revolve around two options. That is where your PMI mindset and your the concept or whatever you learned
Yeah.
helps.
Well,
So it
that's
is
a
a mix of all of this.
good point. Thanks, Vinithra. These are the points going to help audience who's watching this video. Another question is how you did your exam? You went for center or online?
Yeah, both PMP and ACP, I went for the center.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Was it
So
comfortable? Time management?
yeah, So PMP was an exam after a very long time. So of course I followed this 90 70 70 whatever you said. I took breaks and I think I had some 5 to 7 minutes at the end.
Mm.
So
Okay.
so how much ever you prepare, how whatever you do, finally when you click that submit button, it's like, yeah, yeah.
The thrill.
So
Okay,
yeah. In ACP, I finished the paper in 2 hours 15 minutes,
that's
and then I had around 12 to 13 questions for review.
okay.
I reviewed it. Still, I had time. I was not confident to go to that submit button, so I
So
again went from 1 to 100 questions, and then finally there was only 1 minute left. So I thought now there is no other go. I have to click.
that's it.
So that's, yeah.
That's look at here, Vinithra. You came from manufacturing background. You read Agile well, and you completed the exam in 2 hours 15 minutes, where the exam is 3 hours. Which means look at the Agile knowledge which you gathered and the confidence you had in the exam. That's really impressive. Really impressive. Nice.
Yeah, thanks, Shriram. But again, I would say is that it was all your guidance and support. Otherwise, it would have been really hard. And
Good
I
enough.
know
Good enough.
I troubled you a lot with lot of my questions. So you were so
Not
patient
much.
enough.
Not much. One thing I found with you in the class when it goes on ACP or PMP, primarily in ACP, I found you asking more relevant questions. Some of the question angles we don't think as an agile practitioner. In agile practitioner, we take it for granted that is how it will work. So you used to ask question why. Uh, Many times I didn't expect there is a why come on this topic. Then you realize, oh, there is a why. Now you have to think and answer. Because I think that is a way now I'm seeing in the market. People from different industries starts coming to agile. They don't take it as yes, it is. Rather, there is a cross question why it is. I believe those are good questions I found with you. I don't remember all the questions what you asked, but some of the questions I found made me to go back and see the books. Okay, could be that's the reason she's asking it. So, which is really impressive with you. And I believe that shows how much depth you learn the concepts. That's nice. Perfect. Good. All right. Any tips you have specifically for you can address it for PMP and PMI-ACP for the people who starting the preparation. You want to give some info to them.
Yeah, sure. So these are the things that I did. It may not be the best practices, but it really helped me. So first thing is that if you are aligned to something, say PMP or ACP, first don't miss your classes because it is just that you're making yourself accountable to something. So don't miss your classes, and then like like I always do, ask questions. uh, don't if you have a different opinion about an answer or a question, just ask. And then just it's just like a, it's just like a process. You take up the classes, and then keep reading, and then ask questions, and then take up your mock test. And then one of the biggest thing that I think that helped me was being in a part of study group. That really helped me, be it PMP or ACP both. So try to, trying to get people who are in the same page as you, and then forming a group, and then studying. So PMP, I used to have a lot of, I think, I don't know about other batches. In my batch, it was super interactive, and we always asked questions, discussing. We were not convinced with one answer. There was always why can't that be the answer? So it's just that you are asking yourself to learn more about it. So that's also one of the way. Try to create groups with people who are, as motivated as you are. So these are the things that you can do to stay aligned and, reach your goal.
Nice.
And then if you have any doubt, Shriram is always there. So,
Nice to know.
so
That's a valuable tips from you. Any credits to the team or your family members supported for your exam?
yeah. My family member, yeah, they were fully supportive. In fact, you should ask them as to how they were coping up with me. So I really annoyed all of them at home, be it my parents or my husband. So all credits to them. And of
Very
course, uh, my study group, my buddies, and they were all with me right from February batch. So So I had, it is a big thing to get people who are
Yeah,
as motivated as you are.
I know. There is a gang of three people, right? There is a
Yeah,
gang.
so for PMP, I had Santosh, I had Jay, I had Rupal, then even Prasanna. So I was a part of many study groups here and there. And again, for ACP, yeah, it was majorly Rupal and Yusuf.
Hmm,
So yeah, it is important that you have people around you, positive people around you.
that's nice. Well said. Well said. Good. The important takeaway is read well. In fact, don't miss the classes. Observe carefully. Take notes. And if the scores are not going high, go back to the books. In the sense, evaluate, read, come back, take the test again. Don't give up. That's very important. Also, I understood one point from you: learning PMP and ACP. It's not a certification. It's beyond that. Where you should know why we are doing this. I like that point. What is said. It's not for getting a job. It's not for the salary purpose. Of course, it also covers. But beyond that, why actually we have to learn it? That makes you so passionate. That's nice to see. And again, the last one I heard is have a good friends around you, positive vibrations. Don't work all alone. When you have people, you can ask some questions and get clarity on certain topics. Yeah, that's nice. Great, Vinithra. That's a good time. Thanks for coming up here. Maybe one question we missed to ask: which part of the country or world you are?
So I'm in California, in Northern California, Bay Area.
Nice to know. Why I ask this question is how is demand for PMI kind of certificates in the market?
Yeah, yeah. Here, at least I can say, I'm not sure about how it's in India. Here, people value
Mm,
for what you have done.
mm, mm.
At least they value the PMP. Oh, wow, PMP. So it's like that.
Nice. Good to know. That's a message to be conveyed because people are trying for the jobs or staying in America. They want to know that is it valuable doing this certificate, putting my time and money.
Yeah,
So
definitely. Yes.
perfectly great. Super. Once again, thanks a lot for coming up here and good wishes for success in your career.
Sure, sure. Thank you. Thank you so much, Shriram. Keep motivating us and guiding us as always.
Sure, sure. And thanks to all the audience who are watching this video and reach out for any queries in the comment section. Maybe our team or Vinithra will reply back if anything related to exam. With this, thanks for watching the ShriLearning videos and thanks once again to Vinithra. Have a great day.
Thank you.